that kind of brings me to the topic of self-publishing, which is, what do you think of it overall? I mean, would you recommend that somebody, in 2020, is that a viable way to run your whole career, or do you think there's still a big position for traditionally published books?
Well, I think both. I mean, right now I could probably, if I really wanted to, publish another book on Photoshop, but I don't see the market for it anymore, and I don't see it as being important. I have a great idea for one. It's another unique selling point. But I don't, I don't know. Publishing has changed a lot, obviously. But publishers are also doing a lot more to try and bring, to adjust to that change. And most of them are adjusting slowly because a lot of publishing houses are just behemoths. They're just these huge things that don't understand what change is. And so that's changing slowly. But from what I read, people are still reading books. I frankly don't read like hardcover books anymore because there's, unless it's in a foreign language. But I don't read hardcover books. I sometimes, because of what I do, I also read a lot anyway. Every week I'll probably be reading 2 or 3 books, 4, sometimes more. And, I get my reading in. And then if I really want to read something, I do an unusual thing. Like, right now I'm listening to Gargantua and Pantagruel on tape, which, it's really long. Yeah, audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I feel like maybe underutilized.
I think I missed part of that question.
Oh, I just said audiobooks. I feel like maybe that's underutilized by authors. Like, I mean, at least for me, I think about writing a book, but I don't necessarily think about making an audiobook.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that last night because I was, as I go to sleep, if I don't have my own ideas to listen to, I sometimes turn on, YouTube or whatever, and I'll let that play, just to keep ideas either flowing through my head or, whatever. But I was thinking about how interesting it might be to start something where people do share more in reading short stories, at least. And it was because a poetry, what do they call it? I forget what they call it. But a poetry thing came on where people do poetry to music and things like that. And I was like, very interesting. You never really hear people doing this a lot with short stories. Famous novels, yeah. But there isn't a lot of market that I've seen anyway for that type of thing. Which
short story audiobooks, that's actually good.
Yeah.
That seems like they would be more popular.
Well, they'd be short, they'd probably be cheap, and or even free.
You enjoy a whole story on your drive to work, for example?
Yeah,